Okay, I'm here. I wasn't trying to press start streaming, so I guess I need to come up with maybe with a loop or something, because I just always just go like this and turn off the sound, kind of like on stage. Curtains, please. So anyway, I'm getting the day started. I've got I think I've got my situation going on here. One second. My thumbnail's up. Okay. I think I've got my
Oh,
situation
nice. I
going on
like
here.
it. So,
One second.
yeah.
That looks good. Okay, so I'm getting inspired again. So I'm gonna start channeling, I guess. Um, well, I'm a psychic, so where are you psychic at? So there are five famous psychics that I work uh, as a partner. They're famous. They need psychics, and but they only choose. They're very selective. I mean, they choose the best. I'm one of them. This one came from, I believe, Sally Morgan. So so I'll start introducing that side, and definitely start implementing. I'll start, I guess, sharing or implementing something. I guess my reviews, and I'll place them in the video. I didn't. Well, I wasn't focused on. I guess I could put it in the description as well. Anyways, I'll have to go back and do that at some point. But and here I go again, not telling people when are you live. When do you go live? Yeah, I kind of need that there. I'm not trying to stream, I guess, have that stream going, but it's starting to look nice. I'm kind of proud of it. So I guess I need to be able to see. Yeah, I definitely need to see the stream. The stream looks really nice, like the layout. I need to absorb that in my mind. So I'm getting, nice reviews, and yes, I'm gonna start sharing, my reviews. The 5 stars. These are, I guess, this is like public. There, maybe I liked it, so maybe I can close it out. Yeah, I like it a lot actually, and I'll continue to perfect, get better. But yeah, so this is the layout for today. I, I'm I'm getting into the spirit. I'm having these insights and how I should begin sharing my presence, placing my presence on here. Uh, yeah, yeah, it's pretty nice, having the ability to. Well, it's nice to be able to say as well, working, with clients from all over the world, from other countries, but also, working with celebrities, psychics clients is, that's nice to have the ability to say. So kind of, more or less, I developed a little name for myself. And typically, I don't really share this aspect much. I don't really, I don't too much talk about it, but I'll talk about it. Like, why not? So, I need a thumbnail. Yeah, so if I think about it, is it this way or is it this way? Like this? Or is it just like, see how the thumbnail. I don't know how I want to do the thumbnail here. Well, welcome. A pleasure. Hi, crazy gal. Hope you're having a great day. This so I'm going to start sharing my I guess my what those are called feedbacks. Okay, I'm gonna start sharing those. Usually I don't talk about I come on as a psychic, but I don't talk about myself as a psychic. So this one came from Sally Morgan. So I work under five famous psychics. So I'm part of a team, a small team, very selective, competitive, and then of course there's are the famous psychics. I'm gonna start sharing, and I also will share like which psychic is of the day. This one is Sally Morgan. So if you're familiar with Sally Morgan, I'm one of her the psychics that's as part of the team. And so there's like a few of us, like a handful of us from all over the world, and so this one was a nice one. Yeah, I'm gonna choose nice ones unless it's something I can learn from. But yeah, this is a nice one. So you always choose the nice ones. Well, if it's one that is educational and will help me improve, I'll share it and I'll say, well, you guys, I need help. I'll ask you for help. I'll say, hey, I need help. Do you think is this true? Does it ring with me? So something to that effect, and then I can make improvements. But I think that's what feedbacks are for. So I never really thought of doing this before. So there you have it. So now you can see what other people think of me or my feedbacks, I guess. But definitely going to continue to grow, and it will definitely help others. That's my intention. I want to improve and get better, do my readings, and things like that. So we'll more or less help. I will be helping those individuals who are looking for readings. I want to offer the quality, very same quality that my clients are getting indeed. So we will we will do that. Plug my phone. Had a crazy night, everybody. So it was festive. I like being visited by the spirits and becoming spirited. I'm at the age where it says, and no alcohol is involved. Just the spirits and I. Yeah. So, oh my gosh, I know people, are definitely around. I know they're like, so what do you have going on? Oh boy. Right now, my clients are like, Oh, I've got an email reading to do as well. Oh yeah, I also do email readings. I cover it all. I mean, was I'm on here saying, wow, so okay, they're famous, so what makes me the apprentice? No, well, oh, that would be nice, but I'm not. No, they're way too busy, and I'm needed on deck. When they're busy or as they're busy, doing shows, book signing. So they're doing the famous thing, and so I'm a group where it's like, oh, we have a group of team of, so but the people who contact me definitely they have spoken with because there's five, so there's clients that come through either either five or more, and they have their favorite, right? And it's like, oh, I trust you. You're like, okay. Today's so is Sally Morgan. Oh, you're in Sally Morgan's group. I always have good experiences with that. I know you're great. Come on, tell me which like so they so it's more like that. But of course, utmost respect. They end up really trusting and really achieving the things in life, and practical terms. So everything begins to become tangible, manifest, uh, and it's safe to have like human moments because sometimes people are like, Spirit said this. Okay, well I love Spirit, but tell Spirit I'm not coming. I'm not going to do that. And that's okay, So yeah, I'm very safe. And like I say, okay, I'll drop it. I won't push people into something that's not right for them. They don't feel right about it, or that's not their way. That's not their personality. I'll say, okay, well, let's venture off into another aspect or conversation. Yeah. So yeah, I learned to guide people out of the spins. If we're in a conversation and we're in a cycle, and this is now, I have to be honest. I don't. I mean, I don't stray from the angle. If like a spirit gives me an angle, I do stay with the angle. That's why I say, well, we can move on, and maybe there'll be an opening where we can return back to this. So yeah, I was trying to make use of my little time because other therapists get an hour. I don't. Some clients I know very well. I've been speaking with over a few years, so I know which ones. I'm like, okay, you're definitely only here for. I've got a few minutes to really do something that's going to impact you in a beneficial way. I better make use of that time. And what that time is not trying to pull you towards something. You're like, I'm not hearing it. But it comes back around because they will ask again because now they're curious. They're like, "There's okay, so if there's anything you need to share on this subject, I'm ready." And that's my cue. I'm like, they may not still agree, they may not like the answer, but I do get people answers because you only tell good things because I'm pleasant and you're happy, you're enjoying your day, aren't you? I'm like, no. I mean, no, it's that okay, so when bad things do happen, people are like, "Are you sure?" Like they want me to double check with the spirits. Could you double check that, please? Oh gosh. Well, that's the nature of things. Um, hmm Oh, and I go by Donald. So in America, I go by Ethan. Donald means chief, and it's a fire sign. L. Um, so yeah, so there's that little. Oh, that little Hebrew connection. See, my name is Isaiah. I have a proper and nice and well known, name, Hebrew name. Uh, Darnell is combination with, of course, my last name is Reed, um, connecting to a little bit of Irish, the Celtic root. And then Ethan means firm and everlasting. So long lived, especially emphasis long lived, firm, long and long lived. So said, these are fitting because I have gone through a lot. I need a name that represents my endurance. And Ethan, I've actually been have been working on that stage, acquiring that stage name for a while. So, in fact, there was a sort of, well, to be honest, there was a favored psychic company, and I said the only way that you I will want to work with you is that I insist that my stage name be Ethan. So, but I moved on to a bigger company, a much bigger one by far, and the structures are superior by far. And hopefully I find a kind and discreet way to implement them into my reading sessions. I don't know. I hope so. I'll figure it out somehow. I kind of know how. I would need my they well, it works. Their programs work so well with my desktop or my little PC. So I'd have to go live on my phone if I were going to do it. Then I can kind of tie everything together. And so yes, we're going to keep on growing, getting this developments in place, and bringing about wonderful opportunities for people to connect. It's good that people also are locating, finding me. I'm enjoying that. Thank you so very much. And let's see what today is going to bring us. We're going to do some chatting, like in between. And my Twitter endeavors are also beginning to. I'm about to expound on that as well. I have a few things that I've got in queue. So I'm also incorporating Twitter. I'm looking at a few different sections. I'm beginning to, I guess, capture that branding appeal. So I'm starting to pick up on that a little bit. It's getting better. I really am working on it and making those wonderful improvements. It's coming along pretty nice. I don't know what today's going to bring, so we're going to ask. This this is more of a practical side. I just started laying out a few cards just to see. Oh, denying what? Say yes. Okay. You better say yes. You're denying something. Health. Uh oh. Well, I actually have admitted that. I talked about taking care of my health better. I really did. Okay, it says the offering. Oh boy, of a partnership. Okay, okay, certain relationships are creating setbacks, and for our health, maybe in every way, your health overall, your wellness, your well being, we have to admit that we're little bits that we may be in a partnership that is not good, that's keeping us or stifling. However, we get to also discover what is it that we're attached to. Okay, there's a gift. Oh, we're going by instincts. Well, they say, well, why do I do that? You're relying on your instincts. Okay, all right. Um, okay, but it's also very risky. And what are the motivator? Okay, the motivator is risky because of the practices. Oh, so that means a person may come in as like like a guru of sorts, a mentee mentor situation. There might be the reason why you can't whether don't whether it's risky to accept them as a motivator is because unethical practices. So you have to kind of wipe. You say wipe the dust off the blinds. Like when you're driving in the rain, you have to bring on the window wipers, turn on the window wipers. Okay. Um, you need nurturing. Okay, so what do I need that I'm not getting from this? So you can still work with them because it's giving you something practical, but you need to choose another mentor. So the person who you're working with and for, they're not your mentor. So you can work with them, but you need to start seeking mentorship outside of the partnership. You need to place a safe space where you can work on your craft, and then you'll begin to manifest money. Then money comes, and help comes. So that means you'll be under um, more settled. The other one mentioned like setbacks. So luck, Jupiter, and you'll. It's also time to have to take up space within your life path or career path. So these things can also be achieved. Oh, so that you can do the work that you're meant to do. So if you reconsidering your situation, success will find you. Then success will be yours. But you have to be, they say, be transparent with others. You have to include yourself. In the Golden Reed, you always include yourself. We must be transparent with ourselves. Our mentors are not the person this time who we're working directly with. Oftentimes, it's the case. So all we have to do to succeed. We can still continue to work with them as a partner, but our mentors, or I want to say, motivators, inspirators, they're outside. So yeah, they're on the outside of your current um, space. So outside influence or outside connections will help guide you to where you will want to go, where you need to be. So, like in other words, place your focus in these areas, and it will all come to pass. Meaning, what will come to pass? Yes, you will then begin to manifest money, success, growth, and also beyond the reading, the extras beyond the reading is you'll have the ability to cross the bridge, to bridge into other areas. So think of it like that as well, as bridging you into other directions and areas within your career. And right now it's about making room, making space, but you need to create a space where you can beautifully create, where you can craft, your projects well. You can do it well. This will help you. So that's what the current space offers. So we definitely want to do that. We want to do that. Yeah, it definitely, well, it does get better. Remember that as well. Don't give up. Don't give in to the temptation of slowing down. Rely on endurance. And I tell you, all will be yours. mark those words down. Keep the endurance. Don't don't give up. Keep in your imaginings. Keep forming strategy. Break out the paper. I've got two strategies right now in my head. If you got paper right now, grab it and write with me. I'm not going to. I might not share out loud, but you don't have to share with me either. Okay. I know mine is consistent with Twitter for sure. Um, today's psychic, famous psychic that I am associated with. This one is beautiful comment that you see on the screen with the 5 stars of feedback. That's from Sally Morgan, a client of Sally Morgan. I'm part of a team that work with psychics, uh, famous psychics, clients. So, and this is one of my feedbacks. So I wanted to share that. Uh, I'm gonna start talking about my life as a like a high status, high profile psychic with during my lives. And I'm talking about psychic stuff. I'm not able to speak on my experiences. Um, oh yeah, and okay, I've got it written down. So, are we ready to to begin that inner process of from manifesting? I hope we are. Okay, let's take a breather. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, so yes, we're oh yes, I'm getting everything flowing in a nice stream, okay, of energy. So it's not like, well, today's topics, it's interwoven because they're meant to be applied all together. All of these areas that I'm combining, gradually, like, oh gosh, please, not take me back to metaphysical school. No, all of those training go into the 1 to 2 minute psychic readings with people from all over the world asking real hard life, solve problems, please, questions. So, this is what it takes. At least what it's taken me to be able to provide those styles of readings that gets you 5 stars, for example. Like, how do you keep getting 5 stars? How do you? Okay, so you mean you're able to talk to someone from anywhere in the world from where you are? And then people might ask, from where are you from? Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's it's not just telling what's going on around a person. It's not just about making predictions, but it's also about helping people make permanent effects for towards their highest benefit, and to calm all concern or to grow from it, from whatever the experience is. Sometimes we have to go through something and then we get pulled up. And so I'm in a position where I stand with others as they're going through a lot, and sometimes I'm there to say, "Don't worry, this is where the storm calms," and it's like, but when we reach the middle of the eye of the storm, and they begin to see that ray, that the sunlight, pouring in, and they start to see the dust settle. When things pick up again for a little while longer, they're able to navigate that, like, by like times that by 1,000, and they do they're doing excellent. I mean, my clients, I know we think of each other, because I know we think of each other, because I'll get messages about them, like before or as they are calling. I'm like, you're just on my mind. So that's the way that I help people. Is just all interwoven in just beautifully, and it will continue. I will continue to help, develop and get people, clients. I'm going to do my very best. I'm It's starting to align. It's triggering where, the aspect where I can share this information that's proper for a live stream. Mm-hmm. So with that, definitely, I'm referring. I'm. What do you talk about? What do you? Okay, so I'm talking about some techniques, like practitioner techniques. Of course. Okay. What's a practitioner? You mean like metaphysical practitioner? But okay, so I'm metaphysical science. So I got my training in there, but I don't say, okay, today I'm going to do this method. If you don't mind, just relax. Instead of it like that, it's more like, I mean, because the way that I would do it in a psychic reading, there's no time. If anybody has 3 minutes with you, I don't have time to have you choose a method or me to explain what the method I'm using. I just say, well, let's use this. So let's talk about this method and how we're gonna get through it. So I'm referring to, practitioner, as in what makes a practitioner. It's the ability to place into practice, the ways, the patterns, the skill, to skillful talent in your life. So if you have all of these affirmations, you have all of these wise sayings. So a practitioner, metaphysically, has the ability to place those practices into their lives, and that's what makes them a practitioner. And then you can begin sharing this with other people's lives, as they say, demonstrate this practice in your own life, and allow other people to see it and share in it, and they catch on. And then next thing you know, we're all are practitioners. So that's what I meant. That's the part I'm kind of not, that I wasn't saying. Now you know what I'm. Now so basically, it's like dissecting my base. As they say, I hate saying basically anything, but basically, it's like, dissecting my sentence, or my readings, and what goes into providing the complete, psychic experience with myself. Oh, by the way, Donald is a stage name. Yep, Donald is the stage name. So this is not, well, okay. So what is this not? It's not okay. So I do talk about behind the scenes, but I'm not like gonna talk, like give you. You mean you're gonna give us all of the secrets? Well, it's not like that. Like, if you say so, like the person standing behind the curtain and you see their feet shuffling, And like the operator is the stage operator is like you're gonna give us like this the magic like and then that I will become disenchanted because I'll know the truth. No, not like that. No, I I'm sharing universal uh, understandings, and but this is something that we all know. This is something that we all can aspire towards, and but that's what makes it secret because it's endless of people. That's why I'm motivated to want to do the live streams. I want to create my channel, but I want to create it in the right way. And of course, I need people to know that this is psychic. This is a psychics channel. Oh my gosh, this is a psychics channel. Um, it's because what people need right now is found in my industry. We need to take that book. We need to take the book of all the sayings and just sprinkle it all throughout society. And no matter what belief system, even if you have no beliefs at all, these practices it's just implemented and it becomes natural. It's not even an doctrine. It's not a doctrine. You have doctrine. Doctrine is okay. I'm speaking from the point of view who is atheist. Doctrine can be a fantastic inspiration. It can inspire you to do completely opposite. It'll validate why you choose to do opposite, or to go head on, into this new sense of identity, and with purpose. With purpose, you'll find, oh, I've got to go do opposite. Or likewise, with purpose, you take the wisdom or the information that text has to offer, and you go with it, and it becomes what you know today, up to date. So that's the kinds of things that I'm working on. Of course, also I love, if you feel like your mind is like, yeah, you're under what they call it, you're unchaining the mind, you're opening your mind, if you want to call it that. You feel like you've been um, in a box, in a room, how you want to describe it, the gel of your mind, the gel cell of your mind. Your mind, you might feel like you have an imprisoned mind, and it just has you stuck sometimes, and you don't know, like, how do you break through your limits? Well, practice. Your next, see, another integration into is that there are no limits. What are you trying to put a cap on yourself for? Because in other ways, it starts with our intellect that begins to limit us. So it's, as they say, well, you're only as free as what you understand what freedom is. So if it can have a very limited view of what freedom is. Personal freedom I'm describing. So like in a psychic reading, that some often a person's idea of freedom and the limit of that freedom is is revealed in a reading, and helping people. Now, of course, I do it very, very delicately because people are sensitive because we are working with professional adults. They rule their lives with in excellence. So I always am very delicate. I know these things can be very sensitive, and I'm not doing it from a counselor's point of view. It's like you didn't, I didn't, we didn't get an hour. No, I had to do it 2 minutes, a minute sometimes. So I'm like, and we get through, and sometimes they're like, what was that? It's like you're opening, and I could tell in a person's language, and I always point out what they actually send to the universe. So if a person is speaking to me, I know what part of their dialogue that's actually affirmative, and they're sending to the universe. So if I have to, hey, let's try saying it this way. of course, I said in the metaphysical language, and so it combats the if they sent out something that they shouldn't have or would not have wanted to with deeper contextual understanding. But then I celebrate them when they send out the right information in there. Now, inwardly, as a person, they get it. They're like, oh. So they learn to tap into that more often. Even if they just do it privately, like, yeah. Even if they just do it privately. So, and then, of course, it happens so fast. It's like a conversation, like a download, and then we're still in the midst of their reading. By the way, we're saying, well, so this is happening. This is why, this is going on. They're like total understanding. It's like absorb, absorb, absorb. I said, well, I know this is a lot. If you need time to, sometimes it can be very heavy. I'm like, if you need time to step away and to think about all the things that's illustrated today, it's okay. Let me tell you that again. When you're interacting with a psychic, especially in my readings, if the information becomes heavy or a lot, you gain a lot of information. Because there's a lot of people, they go to, they're fantastic university level students. So they're fantastic listeners and they remember everything that, through lectures, they'll sit with me, right? But if the information gets a little heavy, or this is a lot of information, as there will be detailed information, um, you didn't offer it. It's information that, of course, what's the purpose of being a psychic? Yes, I find that information myself, but as I'm helping guiding of like, okay, so this is what this is. This is what you can do with this, or what we'd hope you would do with this. But it's always your decision, and then, but in that decision, these things happen and should happen around this X amount of time with a specific person or location, etc. But yeah, you can always say, hey, this is a lot right now. I just need to process it. Usually people don't say that. I usually suggest it. If I feel like they have opened something for the very first time and they need just to sit with spirit, because sometimes people are like, whoa, they're receiving all the information. It's like being handed a book that's all about you. It's got your name on it as the title, and about your life as a subtitle. And like, this is all of, wow, that's a lot. I'll start to begin to say, well, if you need to take a step back from this reading, we can always pick up again. So I get people, used to being in a really good space with all of this. That's what I'm always hoping, I guess you want to say more or less to encourage. It's always about encouraging and strengthening um, people. Um, Also, I strengthen people within their lives because the people, what this tarot card deck has taught me is that people around you help shape you. So, and it also may help, you know, for you to see where to apply your if you're going to say no, and also where you're going to apply your yes. And if there's any maybes and maybe confusion thoughts, then we take a look at them and we raise these universal bigger questions and find out what is actually beneficial for you. Then you'll make your decision as you will. You'll do as you will. Um, mm-hmm. So psychic readings are not to shackle people in their minds. No, it's meant to unshackle people in their minds, and that can be scary or intimidating to those people who are going to receive you next. So we want to release you, if you will, from these limitations, but in a healthy way, because then you'll interact with those around you in a healthy way, whether if it's the employer, or if it's home and parents. friends, children, spouse. So, and it can be concepts too. Maybe it's a healthy relationship with your entrepreneurial projects, your music. So then from there, we began like those around. You know, some people might bring up a few people, and we say, well, this is how you bridge. And did you know that you both share a journey? And you'll find that you naturally attract, you know, maybe attracting business together, money together, good fortune. And of course, we do point out the ones who are actually like not very good. And the way that we attract them is really not good for us. I talk on those individuals as well. So it does happen that way. So he's like, do you ever, you know, see people who don't belong? Oh, I talk about them like round the clock. But when a person is just flowing in the right way and they're just open to the wonderful channel, you know, that all the potential has the ability to offer them, also the people in their abilities. So definitely, I start talking a little bit about them and how powerful of an influence that they can be. And by working with those individuals, good things transpire. So I do like to, you know, helping. In other words, I like helping other people through the readings, and for my well, be my clients. So my clients can connect with those individuals, or reroute themselves, you know, or out of those person's lives, or the person somehow like they find themselves out of our way, you know, and they have the ability to have clarity to understand what that dynamic either was or has been, definitely at least what has been, and what it is today. And I give information so people can discover. Okay, so what are the benefits? I use that word benefits. So whether if it's beneficial to you or no, you know, for this person to exist in your, you want to say, in your realm of influence. Okay, I'll be right back. I need to go grab something really quick. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. So, what is it like working with clients? To me, it's like meeting someone who is going to be your friend for a very long time, and you're going to have very special relationships or conversations with them for a very long time. Okay, so now condense that to about 1 minute. That's what it's like being a psychic. Because when you meet somebody, because you're psychic, and whether if it's recognized or not, you also are considered to be perhaps at least a spiritual leader. If not a teacher of some sort, at least a leader. Spirituality. So people are thinking you're naturally going to be open, and you're going to know exactly what they're talking about, of course, and know exactly what happened with them, and as though that they've like you've been there their entire lives. So I mean that's just natural. But I always the way that I manage this is that I get people to understand that that's not the case because I will remind people like well let's you know this is a place where you can calm down. I know you're very busy and highly protected, maybe high profile in your life, very discreet in your life, but know that this information is safe and it's not going to go anywhere. Think of me as a keeper of bones and secrets. I'm not going to share this information with anybody. And so, plus, besides, you're here. Let's get what you want in the shortest time to have a conversation over it. I know we don't have an hour, and so I wouldn't even go that long. But I'm just saying, you know, I have time to spell it out. Since right now, I'm not. You're not. The meter is not running on you. So I say all that, but I shortened it, and then they open up. They're like, okay, okay. So yeah, so it's like, well, I was able to find this out without you sending me an email asking me or telling me ever all about your life situation. Oh, they were so at me yesterday. They were like, so I know they're going to take them a little bit to get back. Hello, whiny. Hello to you, sweetheart. So people are like, they like every time I say, so you ready for our reading today? They say, so what do you want to talk about? They say life. I'm like, to me, that sounds like, well, you're the psychic, tell me in one word. I'm like, in one word, life. Like, you tell me, you're the psychic. I'm like, come on, seriously, I'm here to do work. Break up because it. Okay, so yes, you have life, but the reason why there's an astrological wheel because every single uh, um, space or constellation represents an aspect of life. So I'm like, choose one. So, but I was like, okay, but I didn't say it like that. I was just, sometimes my mind is thinking so fast. I'm like, facts. But so I said, well, okay, maybe we're like life, life. Everyone's asking, read me. I want to read. I want to read. I want you to read. Okay, what you like to talk about? Life. It's like, yeah, no. let's try a different thing. So I got them invested. I said, well, okay, so life is broken up into many squares. Just choose one, and you can say it in one word. I'm not asking for details. Just one word. Not it doesn't have to be a detailed word, but it cannot be life. That's too vague. Like, yeah, that's vague. Because if you start a vague vibration and I let you get away with it, then you might. What if the universe gives you something and it hits you zeros in and it says you need to do this. You say, oh, I don't know that. That's vague. I'm like, no, match it to something you'll understand right away. Something that you really are interested in hearing me talk about. That's what I'm asking. I'm not trying. Like, no, read my mind. I like, well, think about what you want to talk about. Reach out to me. Yeah, I can read. let me read around you. Okay, if you don't mind, let me read around you, see what I see. That's what they like that a lot. But I want to show other advanced skills. Hi. Hi, Whiny. A pleasure. A pleasure to you. Okay, let me make sure I say hi. Hold on. Okay, making sure I say hello. I better do a little emoji. Let me get my little symbol. Where's he at? The little guy. Oh, there's my little guy. There. There you go. So if you happen to come back, no, I said hello, please. Hi, Whiny. Hi, Crazy Gal. Bill. Emily. There, I said hello to everybody. So thank you all for joining in, saying hello, spending a little time with me. It means a lot. And I, hope that my goal is that we can continue to grow together and unravel a lot of life mystery together, which I know that we can. I know we can do this. I know we've got it. Well, anyway, when the person actually did it, then I understand why it happened, because they were battling me. They're like, "Well, you do it normally." I'm like, "Yes, but today, I have a feeling that just if you trust me, just trust me. Let's give you a try." Then they said work, and I'm telling you, I said, "Don't worry, I won't talk all about work. I talk all over the map, but I know that Venus is in Aries right now, and right now it's in the thick of it. Excuse me, Venus, she is in the thick of it, and I know what that means personally for me. I know, I know what it means. It means, you know, I've got to be extra aware of what I'm talking about and with whom, so people don't, you know, confuse my messages. Okay, let me see. Let me draw it up. Is this it? No, 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 no. Boom. Yeah, this one. No. Come on, come on. Okay, hold on. So as you could tell, Venus is in Aries constellation. There's a few other things on the other side as well. So yeah, she's becoming increasingly powerful because the closer, of course, you get to the cusp, somewhere in the middle. But it's good. It's great for attracting. But right now, it's really about attracting highly important types of conversation. Oh, it's in Power 8 as well. So, oh boy, it has some Scorpio intentions behind it. Oh boy, yeah. So that's the dynamic within people who naturally gravitate to us. So we got to keep an eye out, keep a lookout for these things. Mm-hmm. So wonderful, amazing. Okay. So definitely will continue to grow. And while this stream is, I think it's going really well. I think it's going really nice. And, people are spending, time with me. Hopefully, we can create some very nice relationships, some warm relationships, and get people moving in the right direction. And for things to unravel and happen in the right way. Um, I'll try to remember. You need to include a thumbnail. You need to include your thumbnail. I don't know if it's a thumbnail or just, do I just put, I probably need to do it. Just, thumbnail. You need to put that whole thumbnail on your Twitter. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this or not. But from time to time, but I definitely need, I'm supposed to, I need to incorporate. I'll try. I'll try. Because, so I got to revamp everything again. We start talking about how I'm working with the famous psychics clients. Start sharing that a little bit more. Come up with a creative way to do it. All right. I was in my mind a little bit. I had to go into. I was in my space. All right. So let me continue to prepare. So this must be a slow day. Okay, that's fine. Client said, yeah, I'm gonna be reaching out to you. I just had to like really, what's going on here? Whoops. See if they want to, maybe they want to battle. Okay. Uh, I'm here. Actually, I'm not even supposed to be on today. I'm only on today because I want to be helpful. They keep giving me emails like, wish for the hands due to people illness. Like, gosh, they're always taking off forever and a day. You guys are always taking off from work. I don't get to do that. So I made it where, like, I can decide to come on. Instead of people saying, yeah, 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 you're gonna be there, and I'll get there when I get there. I took it away, and now they kind of have to check in. But I tell them if they when they kind of mention it, it's like, yeah, I had to wait to call you next week and things. It's like, yeah, that's the feeling I think I want them to have. Like, okay, I'll plan to talk to you next week, and then I can then make myself available. And then if they just happen to either ask, they'll, of course, I'll tell them. Now I'm on, every day this week actually, same time. Or if they just out of curiosity, they're fretting and they happen to see me, and if they're feeling it, then they can reach out. But they can also at request by request they can ask me to come in early, and I will for them. Okay. I know they're doing romantic things. My clients, by the way, because they are with their twin flames, and this particular sign definitely represents the gravitational pull on people and their connections. Good. Nice. So, anyways, thank golly, like Yule's retention, I guess for me, is really getting better. So thank you. There's the retention, like the amount. I guess that's like the amount of time that it, like, I guess for everybody to kind of come in and kind of like hang out and see, what's being said. That's good. That's a good thing. Well, let me. Maybe it's a part of my imagination. Let me check. Oh wow! I'm glad I did check. Way better than I thought. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. I wasn't expecting that. Whoa. I thought it was like just a minute. You guys are really hanging out with me. Thanks. You can tell by my expression a lot more than a minute. We're getting to the place where we can unlock memberships so I can begin doing readings for you all, through memberships through YouTube. Yeah, I'm gonna have create memberships so that you all can have ask the expert psychic for the professional psychic. We're getting there. Mm-hmm. Okay. I was getting ready to get distracted, and then I accidentally, what they call it, full screen. Yeah, I better leave it alone because I'm I'm starting to get creative over here. But oh, I want to see if I can do this. Oh yeah. Gosh, I can't. Gotta keep an eye on things. It's getting better. What is the timing? I'm gonna stay in here, which means for the duration, I at least like to stay till 3. You know, maybe 4. Well, it's the middle. Oh yeah, it's also their holiday. It's Europe's holiday. Ours is Monday. Theirs is today. So I forgot about that. Oh, they have so many holidays. They have so many holidays, and they take off. They make sure they go on holiday. which is they're very big on mental health. We were talking about that the other day. They even consider it worthy of a sick leave. Like we have sick leaves, but I don't think for the mental, that like that's discussed privately. Like you're overwhelmed, take the day off. Like they give you the evening or like the rest of the day off. Like you get like, or they may say after lunch, go home, get some rest, and then they're like, but be here like 5, 8, fresh in the morning. So that gives you like, well, you got to think that you're driving. You got to get home. That could be a couple hours. So 6 hours. It's like they could say go take a nap in the back. uh, and the UK is like no, like go home, take a trip. Get a plane ticket to another region because they're already in Europe. So they're like we'd have to you have to. So if you just flat out and don't like with cheat, like you'll pay like a couple of grand or something like that, right? Because you want to. I mean, so you get over there, and then from there, then you could start paying like $400 for. So over there, they're it's like they are air taxiing, plane taxiing to other countries, literally, not just region, but regionally, they're centered in the middle of everything. So like they can get round trips for like 350, 375, 400, probably more now, but pretty much you could do an entire week and do. I looked it up and do 4 trips for like a grand, like $1,000. You can have an entire full week of a holiday and visit like 4 or 5 different countries once you get to Europe. It's that getting over one. You gotta get over the pond first. So if you can find a okay, and the great deal. I mean, you can go less, but I'm imagining if you ever well, if you have flown in the back, but I guess it's like well, if I'm in the back or in the middle, if it's if it's still gonna be safety concerns, even if I'm like in the front and I'm first to see everything. I'm like, oh no, I can see everything. I wish I were in the back. So, but if you really care, though, you want to at least be somewhere in the upper business class, right? If not first class. So there's that. Um, so anyway, I'm just saying it's a pretty penny to get over there. But once you do, and if you humble out, if you chill out, what I meant by humble, I used humble in the wrong context, by the way. That doesn't. I would mean modest. Which, like if you get there and you're gonna be moderate, then because modesty and humble has a characteristic of moderation, but it's not limited to underperforming. Me being modest, that's me being I'm actually underperforming what I actually can do. So yeah, so there I've been saying that we shouldn't confuse being humble with being modest, because humble doesn't mean that. Humble means I understand my full capacity to do, the equal to greater, to have the greatest return or fulfillment of project, work, goal. So when you say, "Oh, you're humble," you don't just go to someone who's not been performing right and say, "Oh, you're so humble." No, you're the one who's really like in the first place, like at the top tier. That's the one you're gonna say you're humble. The one who is not so much, you're gonna say Oh, come on, you're just being modest. So when you gonna break out all those moves? You see? So we need to heal the word, that word. I know that word also is hypersensitized. People really want to chip away at that, at the word and its origin, connecting to with Zion. Also, um, what we think what Zion is versus what, let's say, today's Jewish community think of Zion today. What the Bible says what Zion is. Zion, Matt, right? Why you talk about Zion? Oh, because in the Bible it talks about Zion. Zion being, this is Isaiah 14, by the way. Um, Zion is the city for the humble, and God is its founder. Or if you say, yeah, so Yahweh and El. Oh yeah, we also need to do a whole conversation about Yahweh and El, and we need to do a whole conversation about Eloah and what's the other one? Asherah. Yeah, so we need to do a few big ones. We haven't done a holy text live stream in a while, but we're going to. You got some coming. You got three off the top of my head, but then oh well, four technically, which is segue into what I'm going to be talking about. I'm actually going to be talking about the entire chapter, Isaiah 14, and what it represents in the world. So so yeah, we will be. Of course, that means we'll be talking about like psychic prophecies, and of course, very much. My predictions are very detailed. So very detailed insights about what's going on. What's in a beautiful way, of course. Yeah, it'll be interesting. So anyway, back to what we were talking about. So I have clients who I'm working with. I'm like letting them know, like, don't worry, we're going to keep going. We're going to make it through this. You got some wonderful things to connect with. I know today is your chill day, or holiday. I think it's. They said that so the way they do it is if they have like Wednesday off, they use their, I guess, their time off or PTO or something like that, and they'll go ahead and take Thursday and Friday off. Like, well, well, nobody does that here. We don't just take a day off. Like if it's a day, it's the middle of the week, we actually just go ahead and take the other 2 days off as well. So that universally, so it probably not even a day off sort of situation. It's kind of like, oh, by the way, we're going to be closed, so you'll come in on Monday, because they go right into, they're like, take Wednesday off. No, we can take Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday, and we'll come back on Monday. So that's the way that they operate over there. I'm telling you, one day is one day here, and that's all you get. Mm-hmm. Whoops. Let me bring this back up. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, it's definitely going to get better and better at our work, uncovering these very real truths. I know that this is a very practical time, a time, to elevate, to grow, and we want to see that growth in everyone. I want to see that growth in everyone. Um, some, like my clients, you know, and I just noticed that they have made significant like leaps and bounds. Like they're so high in altitude in life right now, and they feel it. They feel that way. They feel like they are noble men and women. So I want this for everyone. I want this for everyone. So I'm learning how to bring this into the light. So I'm kind of going through a bit of a, as you could tell, I'm going through a bit of a metamorphosis. I can feel it. I can feel the metamorphosis. Um, I can feel that something new with me is happening, and um, I'm monitoring it so that I can, get it to everyone else as quickly as I can move, as quickly as I can speak. Um, it is daring. This next section of my journey is very daring, um, but this is a space I needed to go in because this is a space where kind of like the person who don't belong in this space, they vibed out, and then now I'm within the space, so I'm taking over this. I'm taking over this space. In other words, well, in the before person's absence, so that's good. That's real good. Um, and and um, I'm gonna now that I'm in this space, I'm definitely gonna try. Well, hopefully I don't get stuck on judging the before person too much, or none at all. Hopefully, none, not no judgment at all, and just spend all of my time saying the things correctly. Whatever it is, I'm going to work to say it correctly to other people. Hopefully, I can achieve that. Yeah, but it should go over well. I think it's fun. Oh, I need to go step away. One more second. Need to step away. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, um, how is everyone? Everyone is good. Hopefully everyone is good. Definitely want to keep growing. Want to keep, advancing forward. That's what we will do. We'll keep, you know, very much in control. The reading. We'll keep talking. Become more advanced in our development. I have a feeling, and map this out the way that it should be done. It should, yeah, pretty much, I should say. Should get interesting here. Trying to keep up with these aspirations here. Mhm. One second. Gosh. Um, there we go. I was making sure. Yes. There. There we go. So what was I? That's what I was sharing. We were just mentioning something. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. There we go. Whoops. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Um. All right. Let's see. Um. have that in my book. All right. There. Now, okay. think it's okay. I think I have this. I have enough of this information. Hopefully, I think I have it. Okay. I keep getting these next what to do next information. I'm making sure that I follow this also very carefully. Oh, okay. Enjoy the work. Be a good sport. Oh boy. Work. Okay. Things you can. A student. Okay. Student vibrations. I understand. Counsel. Okay. The past. Okay. Resolving past. Windfall. Windfall. Media. Oh. Student of what? Media. Emotional connection to this, seeking further assistance across the yeah, that's like across dimensions. I'm gonna write that down. Okay, so I have my insight. So there's okay. So the student about I know. There we go. That's what I needed. Okay, this is Got it. They're making me work. Time out. Okay, I'm back. All right. Now, let's see. What gives? What energy is this? Okay, who are you? Okay. Remember that person is. What do you represent? What do you want? Oh, okay. I know what this is. Okay. Bit of a judgment. Streamline. Oh yeah. Okay. Incoming shifts. Okay. So how long is this in standing? Okay. Two fiery elements. Oh, working with the others. To make in terms of completion, the beginning of within the month's time. Okay, that's what I want to know. Represents organizing. So I'm on a project. That's so true. So okay, and to fulfillment and okay, so we'll. All right, now. All right, now I can make an assertion. Okay, so there's one. Got you. Wonder if I have all the pieces here. Do all the pieces fit here? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. No, actually that's 50%. Make sure, double check, double check. Nope, that's 50%. So the other pieces that are missing would be um, okay. I would I, I this method I don't like to use inside a psychic reading, and when I do it, like I'm talking at the same time. So it's a rare occasion. But since I'm just sitting here, I have time to sort it all out. It's kind of like looking for very specific plots on the line of time, looking for very specific events. I picked up how to do it. So it's like following dots, basically. Connect the dots analogy. Okay. 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 Um, time wise. Okay. Okay. That's what I needed there. But and okay, and then the next. So the end result is okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's unraveling things. Some certain transformations, must happen. Like some people describe it as breaking off your beak to grow in a better, stronger one. So there's like a refining moment. Some people's is, they have to, you know, what they call it, shed their skin. However you want to call it. Take time to groom yourself. Grooming to clean to clean oneself. Get one to par, up to standard. So that's what that means. Okay. All right, make sure this is nicely shuffled so people don't get my stuff. They don't want to hear about mine. They want to hear about their own. There. All right. So we have a little bit of. Okay, that's the friendship elements. Okay. Okay. Now there's that. What's going on in the empathic world? Uh, so hilarious. Intellectual. I was like, what's going on in the emotional world? No, intellect. And it says, oh boy, interference in the midst of a crossroads. Oh boy. That's why you have to go through transformation because you have to outgrow the obstacles around you. It gives you time for obstacles around you. Mm, okay. All right. Sometimes they say, that the wilderness or the wooded area, psychically spiritual language, meaning outside of the context of what one might know, um, restricted areas, secular areas, walls, you are able to become, you need the, well, like, why was it necessary to go into the spiritual wilderness? Well, because to grow stronger, to outgrow obstacles. Okay, three, three, yeah. Uh, oh yeah, it's involution, evolution, evolution, involution, involution. What is why evolution works to perfect um, or improve what's needed. Involution, same thing. So the path that is present is, as they say, obstacles to evolve from, involve, inside. One way. Very primal, very primal. Three, three. Oh, it's time. It's natural, meaning natural, excuse me. Natural, the natural result, natural selection, natural outcome of things. And for the relationship, survival. Like symbiotic relation, or what do you call it? Partnership. What's the other one? Um, in the way that I guess the chain of a food chain pyramid, how everything in the ecosystem is just tied in to the other. Okay, so a lot of involution talks emotionally. Got it. So if you're, will I survive this? Yes. In fact, you're going to grow whatever style of wing or claws you need to do the thing you need to do, which is to survive, to live. Human language would be to live, and thrive. Okay, you got it. Thank you, Spirit. So let's see what's next. See what this one says. Oh, I have not to look at the highest vibration all day. I need to do that. It's saying, yes, you did. You look like this one is the one that taught me about health today. Okay. Got it. Okay. I said it out loud. Okay. My spirit, the dream characters are going to say, you were just here. Okay. Let's see. What we got? What do we have here? What would we like to know? Okay. So here we go. work, hmm, actually repair. This is about repairing, mending, but not all is lost because what's what is broken, you know, can be fixed. All is not lost. Um, the heart. Okay. Persistence. Um, will get you to accomplish. But okay, this is a matter of knowing what directions, understanding the directions. Networking. Oh boy, this one's a bit of becoming a bit of a stickler because people are like, what? I'm no people person. Networking. Something about networking. Getting involved with groups of people, other types of people. I don't know what we're gonna find. Okay, let's talk about unlocking. So through these interchanges, so that's why people, okay, they should be coming to you actually. So it's not like necessarily you going to them. I said, well, I'm introvert. Oh yeah, they're coming to you and knocking on your door, tapping on your desk. Now they say it's showing me unlocking, so something is about to be revealed. The mistakes. Okay. Oh. Okay. So there's messages, um, or people bearing messages like don't shoot the messenger, but they're gonna tell us what we should be doing, maybe what we haven't been doing that we needed to do. It's a pleasure. Okay. Okay. Welcome. It's a pleasure. Donald here. A pleasure. I'm so looking forward to our reading today. How will we like to begin? Are we working with a special area in mind? Okay. Well, we can just take a look and see who comes up and what's going on here. Okay. Pay attention to the hidden blessings. Choices. Okay. With a little bit of love, there's a lover who's stepping forward. He says, whatever she wants, what she's hoping for, wishes. It's like there's some transformational things. Sorting out the difficult times, sorting out maybe the hard times, things that might be emotionally connected. Um, Trying to make sense of it as well. Trying to make sense of the heart is what I see. This one's not been easy because it's like you're maybe affecting you in in a very powerful way, and you might can sense it like beyond the past. Like I used to could put up with this, but now I can't. Kind of deal. Or I used to didn't need to know, but now I need to know. I need to have confirmation. I need the lover to say exactly what it is. Because you say, are you settling in love? I don't want to settle. I don't want to settle for love or settle or pretend it's good, pretend it's going to get better, go in the direction that you hoped it to go. But hope is meant to, you're supposed to get everything you expect if you're hoping for it. You're expecting it, right? Like, I hope it happens. That means I'm expecting it to happen. Maybe long term from now, even if long term from now, but will it ever? They said that, yeah, he is holding, what do you call it? Holding, like everything is like in midair. It's like I'm seeing everything is like it's like gravity, and it's like okay, when is it gonna land? We're waiting for this to hit home or hit the ground, or for his feet to land on land on planet Earth. You're looking to make something like happen now to stable. They said stabilize. You want the relationship, and he's saying, well, I'm like he's still coasting. That's what I get the sense. And you're like, when is he going to sit, stand on his feet on the ground and be practical, down to earth with you. I get that strong sense. You might feel even that he's taking advantage of your time. I hate to say it that way, but they said that. But there's a reason why your paths are crossed. But sometimes you might feel like if he isn't doing this, then it's more like kind of like keeping you from manifesting on your side of the relationship that you really want, what you really desire. Now, ultimately, I get the sense that you both find a happy medium, like you both are working, like I guess, together. In comparison to what you've gotten, I think it's going to be improved, where you can enjoy and feel like you're really very much so a part of the love creating together. That's what I see. It is going to happen. It's, it's not over, and you two are going to get this little situation resolved. I know it's not little, but it's definitely going to get resolved. I skipped a lot because I tried to go as quickly. I know you have questions. I just wanted to move very quickly to get to the result. And that's the result is ultimately you both will figure this out, and the relationship does become exciting and romantic and robust. We can also discover the time. So, is there a question, perhaps something that you need to know? Okay. Okay. Mm. Yes, that's you nailed it. You interpret the reading so well. That's exactly this is so with everything you said right there, and I want to pick up that part that I skated by is that see that what you describe is interfering with what you see as the relationship, the full relationship that you as the goal that you seek, and that he as you says he's claimed that he wants. And they say that you both are intellectually like the people connect emotionally. Well, he and you are connecting intellectually, like through the mind. And they said that right now it is kind of like negotiating. You both are negotiating right now in your relationship, in which he is going to be himself, right? So you're negotiating, but both your personalities are involved in this. I wish it were a storybook where he just says, but one thing he said, opening through the door, he came through the door, and these are the exact words I paraphrase to not to lose your focus. But I'm going to share with you what he actually said. He says, give her what she desires, like give her anything she wishes, or so she wishes she gets. So that's what I actually heard versus I said, oh well, make sure she's getting what she needs right now, what she desires, what she wants. So that's the way okay, so you get it. I think that this man is intellectually, right, logic, like working with the logic, going back and forth with you, and then hearing what you want, and then like logically, in the practical terms, seeing how he can contribute to give you as much of that of himself as possible, so that you both can feel comfortable in the relationship. So that describes the dynamic. I had to all of that to describe maybe a little bit of back and forth. I feel like, gosh, it's like back and forth with him, but it's not like talking to a wall this time. You won't feel like, oh yes, I talk about it and nothing ever changes. He just says, yeah, 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 I heard you. It's really like engagement. That's what I can see. By the way, you two are definitely healing something of the past. So it's like you both have been through this. That's why you both are approaching this, I think, intellectually. By the way, some people say they feel love, and some people say they know love. You two are speaking from the place you know love. Like you both know you want a relationship. Some people say, I feel I want one. He thinks he knows he wants one, and let's call it intellectual love. So, which means is he and you have done this in the past, and you said we cannot do in the present what we've done in the past. We like we say we're creatures of habit, but eventually we realize we're a little bit habitual and we want something different. We crave a difference. That's what's going on now with your love for to each other, wanting a commitment from each other, a relationship. So indeed, he as to your answer to your question, he does want a commitment with you. In a lot of ways, without saying it, he has committed. He's maybe working on devotion, but he is committed to you, to figuring out how to be more of a promise to you today. Your lover, your gentleman. By the way, there's 3 points that they cover. Okay, so the first time he comes in as a lover, then he comes in as like a friend and a little more like a special friend, and so now he's meant to become like your worthy partner, your companion. It was so those are the kind of like the generic phases, the general generic phases, which is beautiful because what I see is two people growing towards each other, and they're learning everything that they can about each other's needs, and they are your needs is valuable to him, and what his needs are valuable to you, and that makes that's a couple that is unrivaled. Those other couples will not break away because they always put the other one in consideration at least. I like it. At the end of the result, it says a fun connection. Just so you two are gonna enjoy the journey. Well, enjoy each other as you're, committing to each other. Time wise, I have a feeling that, um, let me see. Time wise, this is something I have a sense you both have been working on since earlier this year. I'm getting a lot of August, so I think that you two are gonna have fiery uh, summer like romance, middle of the year romance during this time. Over the next, they said Gemini season, constellation, upcoming mid June. You two are going to be very active in your dating. So like being very, I would say, physical, connected. Oh boy, you two are like two fires, and like if a fire, becomes one fire, you like your bon. Then what that is a bonfire, like yeah, that's the two of you. You both are the same element, highly energetic, and very like want to try new things, open up, wanting to revolutionize or move things along, as you're saying today, emotionally, in the month of June. That's when it's going to start. So I'd imagine that, well, you're already feeling some shifts happening between now and, the rest of the end of the May month. But it's still going to take 2 weeks for everything to come to focus, though. Solidly, where you say when, okay, being that we're in May, what time frame in June will you look back and say, okay, we're done with the past, or finally I've got complete changeover? It's going to be 3 weeks out. But 2 weeks, but psychic. Remember, psychics wants to say by the middle or 2 weeks into June, it happens. But you're like, but when will I notice? Yeah, I think it's going to be 3 weeks into June month. So a lot of activity is going on in June month, and it's all about any way, shape, or form, energetically, like I guess this is like more like having time spent together. That's really what they're describing here. Not being moderate with your time. Like they said, no, you two are gonna go all out. Like they people say, oh yeah, you need to call, you need to do text, you need. No, you two are like need to go on that hiking trail. Something, do something, whatever it is you both like. Maybe it's working out together, whatever it might be. A lot of physical elements might mean going like doing something for yourselves, maybe on a date. Which they suggested that as well. Hanging out a lot. But I can't imagine. I'm like, no, you two are gonna be that couple to yourselves, and like they say, oh, that's a nice couple right there. Doing couple things. That's how I want to perceive that. I think friends are gonna recognize that as well. Mm. Oh boy. Mm. Well, the guides here does describe, this, like what does this mean in the long term? Like, is it ever going to be like this? And you having to settle, and then this is, it's like pretending like it's. Earlier they mentioned pretending like everything is just going so well, fantastic, isn't it? Relationship, and you're saying, no, it's actually it's underwhelming. That's a lot, and a lot of this they said that like they said mentioned like you're feeling like your time being you're taken for granted, as they mentioned earlier as well. Or maybe it's your time, maybe it's out of the convenience of just having the connection with you, and you're like, no, there has to be more to the two of you to for you to keep your interest, the minimal. And I believe that that also is being checked out. But I also believe that kinds of things actually are being openly talked about. So this is not something that is, maybe swept under the rug because it's emotional. And when you get the little bit, and the cup is not even filled. But it's like, okay, maybe I won't bring it up this time. At least I got something. But I think that your efforts, like you're looking for, like the efforts and the results. I think you're looking more for that. I think that's the difference. And because you're expecting those results from these efforts to make that improvement with the distance. I believe that he and you will come out of it. And by the way, they don't say that this is by accident. They don't describe it as like part of life, act of God. Well, it's the circumstances. No, it's how he's responding or reacting to the circumstances that would even make one frustrated. It's like, okay, I know we're distant, but the way that he's not looking at this seriously, could bother you. Like, and so I think that he's saying, like showing that he wants to have. I think that's the theme of the reading, describing you both as energetic and wanting to physically be highly active towards each other. The couple that's over there being a couple who can't keep their hands off each other. You're like, oh yeah, that's a couple, and everybody's like leaving you both to yourselves. So I get the sense that that is playing into the idea that upcoming weeks. You might say 3 weeks, but I say 2 weeks into June month, and that's when you begin to say, okay, you both are. It seems to be now committing, and then of course committing, then also spending that wonderful time, together, is what I'm able to decipher here. They also mention about a crossing where it's like your paths drew you in both in together, and whatever either of you had going on, it was like you both sort of stopped, or like it's like you both caught each other's attention before you carried on to the next. Like this is a chapter that is written in the book that needed to be added. It's like an addition. You two are one another's addition to life. And I think that the reason why he has not, as you say, fully moved on, and maybe you have not fully moved on, is because you two interrupted whatever he had going on. And they're showing me that also this realm of flower was supposed to bloom. There's something about the both of you that is like a description of metaphysically a flower bloomed. You both were supposed to blossom from the experience between each other. That means whatever the path you both were on, it was like, hey, don't go that route, or it's like they say, universe sent him, or universe sent you to him, and from it, this blossoming experience that's meant to open your mind, maybe you to identify who you are, because you're discovering who you are within each other. So I get the sense that this is, a place where it was significant rather than life continuing. So that's the journey that he and you are on, and you're going to continue to grow in a healthy way. You got it. You have all your answers. Very well. A pleasure. Well, we'll speak again soon. Okay. You can call back anytime. Good luck to you and your gentleman. All right. Love. Okay. We saved the relationships. Oh yeah. I also I'm able to tap into another gift. Like I can call I don't know. I think it's called calling across the realms. I call across the realms, and the realm is you know the real world, like you want to call it dense negativity, the soil, and then it's like I draw the energy and I create a blossom. Like I might create fruit or a flower. Let's see, Donald here. A pleasure. Yes. So, yes, I just wanted to share with you very quickly while you're here. The gentleman the way that he's described is, I did see that the two of you would move into a flower, this time of a blossoming, and that this path where you both are just continuing, it's kind of like, oh yeah, you're just living life. You just move on and keep going. Just keep going, chasing your life, right? But doesn't that sound a little bleak, like just a little dull? And it's like, well, what about an experience? Something that just shakes us, like your soul just lights up, and you feel like if you were a closed flower, now you're an open blooming flower. Now what? And all of the lights, even if it's moonlight, it's reaching you now, right? Because some flowers are lunar, right? So, so definitely that those beautiful lights from above are reaching you in this relationship between he and you, and I can tell that this represents both of your growth together. So yes, in other words, you two are supposed to meet. So going back to to my readings, I love stating them because they give my spiritual guides give information to me as though it's reading a book. I know it's a lot of information that's coming at you. You're like, okay, I'm trying to get all this down, written down, remember it as much as I can. So definitely the information is already retrievable because the information is already there. So the information, is illustrating that he and you, throughout these, of course, they added the time frames also, and which is the timing that he and you should be investing in. Remember, you want to also um, wipe away everything that you know about metaphysics and spirituality. In other words, what I'm saying is, please do not get fixated on trying to test your relationship. No, start living your relationship. Relationships are meant to be participated in. So that means when as he is making his way to you, you get involved, you get invested. That's what I'm saying. Whatever you was told to do, whatever by the psychic or what you read in the book, kind of put that to this or shelve it because here's the thing, you both over the timing, well, let's put the timing here. The timing says 3 weeks in the June month. Okay, so I'm saying 2 weeks in, so around like June 14th. That's a very significant time for the entire process to but in between now and then, right? He and you are going to continue as you are. So it is a bit of a slow moving process. Now this is for you, your you yourself is a slow moving process. And so these are the things that's coming to pass. Um, yes, I did check, and so there was a problem. for the see, I'm playing. Okay. Sorry for the inconvenience. And sorry for the inconvenience. Okay. All right. Okay. So. Okay. So let's see. All right. So let's see. Okay. So let's see. Okay. Okay. So there we go. Um, let's see. All right. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Mm, okay. So let's take a look at two things very quickly. Very quickly. All right. So, okay. All right. I was I was in the middle of a good reading. I just kind of got a little distracted. Yeah, so another energy, type of energy is happening, and you're blooming, you're blossoming, and you're still growing, getting things in order, having things, I guess, getting things in place. It's taking a little bit of time and effort to get this done. Um, uh, mm, okay, so, okay, let's see. Okay, so now we got to figure this out. Okay. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay. So, okay. Woo. All right. Okay. So, where were we? Oh, we were having some type of dialogue. We were having some conversation. Oh my. Yeah, we were having some conversation. Yeah, it was a what was it? What was the conversation? Okay, so what okay, the conversation was I think it was about matter of growth. I don't know. I don't even remember the conversation. Plus I picked up the cards. Oh, it was about your destiny. So right now we're more or less unraveling the destiny. Then I had people at the door, and so it's like I had to like cut that short. I mean, I answered them, but sometimes people, I'm like, that's a lot of information. You like to remind, or like, are you taking notes? And I know why psychics sometimes they say, "Oh no, I'm having you take notes, having you write down everything." Oh gosh. Um, certainly, I'm getting okay. I have a lot of views. Somebody hurt my average, but my average is still it's pretty good actually. I gotta have a big average, but somebody hurt my average. Man, averages are important to me, and you all are hurting my average, you guys. Like, what are you doing? Hmm. Okay. Okay. So, oh boy, y'all. Don't you hate? No, don't you love when things come at you at once? You have to like move it around. You're like, okay, where do you need me to do it? You're doing it on a universal level, and it's affecting everything. It's everything is like upside down, but it's exciting. It's like, oh, I'm living life. I'm so glad I had a beautiful upbringing. Oh boy, thank gosh for all of my parents and guardians. Oh my gosh. Whew, thank you. Oh boy. All right. Okay, I'm calming down. Oh, actually, I'm getting started. I'm just now like moving things around, which means officially I can, without being an absolute emotional wreck, I can begin working on the other things that I've got going on. I've got a few things lined out, and so I will have a lot of content because I've cleared a major hurt like sort of like a it wasn't a hurdle, it was just something I need to identify with. So yeah, so now we'll be able to. Yep, I'm gonna do it quick. So because I'm gonna be busy, you're gonna say like, why are you writing? Oh, talk about writing. I got an email reading to do. Email reading to get done, get accomplished, and it will be nice. Hopefully, anyway. Now that client that had to let go, I did answer everything, but they called back and was like getting clarity. But for the most part, I cleared it up, like what they're gonna go through, and there they go. Donald here. Thank you. Hopefully, we get it right this time. Welcome. Yeah, welcome. I was in the middle of giving you my answers. So I like to pick up with your. You had a very important question. You want to know, is this man going to ever put forth the effort? That's what we're talking about. And so I was describing that two. Okay, so it's now for you. It is specifically when I connect with you, 3 weeks. I mean, it's going to feel like it's wow, a while, but it's been a while already on top of that, right? So on top of that feeling that you've gone through this with them, you're currently gone with them, you're like, please make the right choice, you know. But then it's like, well, I kind of gotta let everything sort of add up and make sense, you know, these next within the context of the 3 weeks. So that's gonna be, I would say, some challenges, some hurdles because he is gonna want to, you know, like you know, interact, you know, and definitely talk during this time. Definitely communicating, you know, eliminating. Definitely, I would say the mental distance before you know. But I also want to say this because this is more like an active road. This is not a passive road. This is not like a time where both of you want to be, you know, like in your own space and try to, you know, piece it together. No, this is definitely more active. I could tell that conversation's gonna be like, so when is, you know, when is he coming to see you type of, you know, contextual information here, like throughout, well, within the 3 weeks, because they said the activities start, you know, that's the timing I see is like 2 to 3 weeks out. That's when you, I would say, manifest these things. Oh, and the types of, I guess, the connections that he and you are having. Um, he's going to, okay, so he is definitely going to change the nature of his and your relationship. The nature, like right now, it seems to be very peaceful, so it's going to become more deeply. And well, earlier they mentioned you both are going to have a summer, fiery, romantic, in both clearly in person type of experiences, romantic experiences. So these are things that you know, like the points that he's moving towards. But then once he starts this, is this like a one off? Okay, he does it, and then what? You know, he comes in, he gonna makes the one visit, or he gets close to you because maybe he wants to, because you know you've already received that from him. You know, we talked about, you know, maybe feeling taken for granted, maybe he's taking advantage of the convenience. And then it's more like, okay, this is what's going on. This man is trying to connect with you in a way that, you know, to demonstrate to you that he wants something, you know, for the long haul, the long term. It's meant to be long term. That's that's where I believe this is going. This is going in that direction, in that way. It seems like he's really motivated, you know, in this regard. And I can sense that he wants to make sense of this connection without just using words. You know, it's not coming from his space where, like, okay, for example, you know, the highest, I guess, importance right now is not communication. It's not like talking over the phone what I'm talking about. It's like his highest goal with you is not to talk over the phone. It's not to finally start texting. Sometimes you need that, right? But no, he's saying the goal is for he and you to spend time, direct time together. Hence, the fiery romance, you know, throughout in fact, summertime romance that he and you will have. Now they show, I say summer, but that's because they're showing this romantic beginnings from June all the way into August. So we're talking about right during these times where he and you have become like an actual bona fide romantic couple. I mean, actually can say that you two are partners or and companions. So I saw that that's his intentions. That's the goal that he wants to fulfill. By the way, he wants to fulfill those things now. I don't doubt it. It's just the problem is he hasn't done it, and that's the difference. That it's a matter of doing those things as in opposed. They say that yes, you both have an intellectual connection. Some people has an emotional one, but also you two because it's intellectual. In when you both as you both are communicating, of course, to the phone and the text and etc. and leading up into in person. They said that he's learning so much about you, what to give you, and also you what to give him. But most importantly, when I say that, there is a bit of a small print. They said that he had to figure out how he can do it as a person, you know, because yes, he needs to know what you want. Then you gotta look at, okay, how will he get these things to you? Like in his ability, it's in his power to try. It's in his power to give effort, in his power to complete it. But how much of it can he complete, and the quality in which he's giving? So he's looking at his strengths within himself to to fulfill these things with you. By the way, you both want this to happen. The things that you're putting out there, the things that he's embracing, and what he's putting out there. That's a great. They did say that he and you reached to a place that is absolutely agreeable to the one to the other, and because it's you both as you become agreeable to that, it also says that well your connection is much better, the way that you have an understanding uh, for yourselves or to yourselves. It's understandable is what I can see, I can tell. It's understandable. That's what they're mentioning. You both are able to to really fully grasp each other, kind of feel each other out, and I think that's when love is. Well, I guess when that love is expressed, where it's not he and you doubting. There's not a doubt. Right now, there's so much doubt in you. I don't think there's doubt in him because this is where they put it. They said that he can talk about he and you like, oh wow, perfect match made, but you're like, I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing perfect moments. There's better experiences to be had. I know you can do it. You're there. You're saying like that, and he's saying, no, we're really good together, real truly. I'm here. You have me, right? It's like I'm hoping so. I want to believe it. So he's starting to understand that. Oh, this is very important to learn this right now, so that you have it now and you can begin to live the future in the present. That is very important, that to know that you made you put that out there, or they say made your case to him, to the universe, that you know this has every potential to be one of those marvelous relationships, but it's just not. That's not the reality that you're witnessing right now. You both are not there right now. It's so yeah, acknowledging that is more like it's empowering you. Like knowledge is power. It's a knowledge, and this is something that I would imagine him being the male. Definitely his ego is not going to. He'll have to be strong throughout this. But my reading says he can. He doesn't hear it and run. He actually begins to say or figure out making it better. Now that he's physically heard, then he's actively or physically making the effort to bring yourselves together. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Right. Exactly. Okay. So family wise, well, I see the son definitely. Well, you both. Well, I definitely see a strong chemistry. Okay, you both have strong chemistry. Okay, so that's what they open up with. But when it comes to family, or I should say, and when it comes to family, rather, there's no but. There's an and. In addition, they're letting us know that he likes the idea of a future. He's very practical, and he knows. Well, he also loves the idea that you have a life as well. Like you have family, he has family. He understands it. He looks at what you've established. He likes how you're handling things, how to best, like, in practical terms, bring it together. He knows that there needs to be agreements, actual, real conversations, and he also represents the sun. I knew you would have some of the solar light energy. So now I know. So yours is not necessarily lunar vibrations, but the solar vibrations. The good fortune, like they say, the man who finally finds his wife, then he finds his family, then that man is good fortune. He's fortunate. That's where they gather here. Oh, by the way, now they're bringing about. But I asked about our kids getting on well as a family? Well, guess what? Long term, and the numbers that represent children and households. They said that that's wonderful. And by the way, you're very much between yourselves. So, but earlier they described you both as fiery, right? You both are deep fiery, but also you both are like very secure in yourselves. Like you love house security, security for your household and finances and things like that, right? So he and you also again come from the same energy. You both have the same principles that which brings the whole concept of family together, like completion. You two could complete each other and be like a family that is a union, the union of family coming together and being a wholesome family, a complete family. So that's of course that's what he's the reading started up with him, and that may be because you asked the question, you posed the question, but then you entered into the very same reading, and in between the both of you are your family, or as you would say, the household, the children, and he sees the family, the structure as a house, and he also does not identify as what is yours and what is mine, or what is yours and what is yours is mine. He doesn't know. His is more like we are together, most importantly, and like a steady house, longevity wise. That's his big deal. And by the way, he is going. What I believe that these days we are people marry psychically and spiritually, right? Then they can decide to do the symbolisms, but I believe that he wants to feel married, and it's like our family is married. Like yeah, I think that's the goal, that's the idea, that's his vision. By the way, to be under the same roof, if, to make it even to be something more direct. Oh, by the way, one word. If you say one word, because I quite did get my answer about our house is going to be wonderful. One word: harmonizing, harmony. You both. I see harmony. Okay. Mhm. I even see sense that the future, right? Going forward, there's much to gain, much to learn, and you both are definitely going to have just an understanding. I think that you both are so, as you say, well, we just don't want to be fooling ourselves. No, I think you both gonna speak what you both are thinking. Oh, that's kind of like the last little, icing on the cake is that you both are speaking to each other as well. But now I can say it's fair to say I think you both know how what each other is thinking because you shared it, but it's the actual like understanding and one of the understandings are is like going the banter going back and forth of you know no like it's our kids. That's the way he sees it. That's the way that the conversation is like certain things like you just know, but it's talked about so that you both know inwardly like look, I want to say this out loud, but you know where I'm at inwardly. These are our kids. So and we are together. We are a family, a whole family, a family full of love, security, growth, and future prospects. you know he be the the husband, you be the wife, you or father, you be the mother, and you both support each other in all cases, being the two pillars, protecting everybody. So that's the way that this is his personality. Number one, this is what he actually visualizes, but most importantly, this is him in the future. He's like, are you telling me that in the future this man, well, and yourself and everybody's gonna be, is this is what is to become? Yes, that's exactly what we're saying. Yes, yes. He loves his family. He loves the family he sees in his vision as well, but he loves his family, meaning you, your children, and his children together with him. Yes, he loves his family. Hmm. A pleasure. Thank you. I'm so happy we worked through it. We worked through it. We got it done. Okay. A pleasure. Okay.
Oh, oh boy. I had a,
I'm juggling, yeah, juggling. It's universe is saying now we want you to do it. Like, come on. If you were peaceful, how are you gonna get information like this when you're peaceful? I got one all kind of ideas. I wrote them down, and we're gonna get them done. I gotta get them done like week this over this next couple of that should start this next couple of days. Actually, I'm gonna ride this energy out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gotta step it up, step it up, step it up. Okay, so, but anyways, oh, so many people have been visiting. Okay, I'm gonna take the time to thank you all. Thank you so much. I have a lot of views. Thank you so much. A lot of people. Okay, so a lot of people have been engaging and interacting with us. A lot of views. I have a lot of views. That's for me. Okay, I know that. I mean, I'm only looking at myself. So I think I have a lot of views, and so thank you very much. I've got a lot of like average views. I have a feeling that my channel is growing. I can tell. In fact, my watch hours have gone up. I still have a ways to go, no doubt. I don't doubt that. I definitely have a ways to go, but nonetheless, it may be taking some time. Okay, it's taking a little bit of time. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. All right. So there's okay. Let's see what else is going on here. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, we know that. One second. One second. Okay. I'm checking some things out. One moment. One moment. All right. Where are we at? Where are we at? Oh yeah, I already did that one. I did better than the last live actually. What? Okay. Noise. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Oh wow. Like you all. Okay, so we're learning. We're getting it figured out. You all just gonna have to like kind of be patient with us. This one's a bit this type of meditation discipline is a little bit more difficult. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try. Center yourself. I'm gonna try to usually Okay, I'm gonna work on creating in this space. Let me create. Okay. Best way to do it. Set back a little bit. See what we gather here. I can't believe they contacted back. Mm-hmm. Um, so I cleared it. Do that in-depth reading. All right. So I think that it'd be healthy for me to also maybe begin to add my I guess my feedback into my lives to kind of you know I think that this is where the connection is for me. Yeah, this might be the connection actually. Um, like how to piece everything together. Yeah, it's all got to flow. And so these next, I don't have, no, I have to do this within days. Like so, the next days, I need this to be natural. Because I need to take advantage of this sort of getting things together in order. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's okay. I'm gonna do it. 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 Okay. Oh, I need to stay. I need to stay in this space. This is the space. We're growing another seed here. You all are witnessing things that usually happen behind the scenes. I'm growing a tree here. Okay. It takes focus. Okay. And this is how we get that little chickity chick into the egg. Okay. this this is how it's done. Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm just learning. I have to learn so much and connect with people. Yes. Okay. Donald here. A pleasure. Welcome. Donald here. And how would we like to begin? I like to, of course, read what's going on, but I also like to focus on things that are important. If there's an area that interests you more than another, we can start there. Mm-hmm. Hmm. To study. I have to go to school, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
All right. So let's get started. And so ultimately, both everybody's well-being. Number one is partnership. So I do see partnerships, incoming ones with work. So this is revolving around work. I see commitments being established. For you, definitely, this is long term commitments. You have a long term commitment with your studies. Like you're going to be studying for for a while. As they say, it takes time. These things, and so I see absolute 1,000% commitment. This is a favorable time to do something like this. It's like it feels like so wild, so like why couldn't this have happened? Before. Like oh, I didn't think of this when the things were only. No, it needed to happen now because you're right now you're at your best. That's why it's happening now. In the future, by the way, not for long. That in other words, work will come. Work will come. By the way, it's more like beginning of summer. It's like you two, the family, all three ladies here, definitely by beginning of summer. So I think it's like everybody's getting a break. That's what I'm trying to say. Especially must be you and your mom are really getting a break. Like it's like you needed a few weeks, maybe a month, and so it's like this in between moment where you had a chance to revigorate, re energize, and then you're gonna get back to working a lot like you do. Um, oh, relationship wise, oh boy, it's because you're pulling everybody. Okay, you're pulling people. Number one, you're pulling people towards you, and you're right. You're pulling other people towards you, not necessarily romantically, but also not excluding, maybe potential suitors. And so you've got all these new people you're pulling towards you. However, there's this one little hiccup. The gentleman, you, by the way, you're pulling him, and it's time for him to cross the bridge, but he somehow seems like he's not sure, like inadequate a little bit, like he's uncomfortable, because like changes are happening with you. You're right, and he's saying he doesn't know where he fits. Does he come along with you with the journey? Does he wait? Should he be working on something like what should he be doing in the meantime? So it's like he's a little bit, he's trying to understand where he fits in your new future because this is not the future that he imagined. I imagine. I'm thinking this is not something. I think he may have thought that, oh well, you two are just going to be together. Like now, it's about love. It's about just living life carefree. But now you're like, well, I want to do something. I want to I'm updating a life update in school, and so he doesn't know what to really do with that information at the time. Sure. Mm-hmm. 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 Right. 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 Okay. Happy birthday, Dad. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm. Okay. Right. Right. Well, he has the reading is demonstrating that. I mean, you're still pulling him. However, your life changes definitely is countering, what he thought that you both were. I think that you are on an. I think you have to kind of embrace this today while we're on in reading. You need to embrace it like at this moment, please. You're rising to another level. And so he has to make a choice. Is he going to be supportive or is he going to back away? So you're saying, well, now answer my, saying answer my question, psychic. Like, why is he pulling away? And is he going to is he leaving or what's going on with him? Well, it's like this. He doesn't know what to do. The word I use is inadequate. That he feels like he doesn't have his things together in life, in his own life, and he's seeing you elevate to where you're making important life decisions for yourself that's going to bring about success, and he feels strange because he's like that's not the path he's on right now. And so he definitely is creating a rift because the reading said, okay, so if I were reading him spiritually, they said that he you know how people they you like you've seen the bridge, you were here before, you'll be able to relate. You can see the bridge, you know you have to do, but you just won't do it. That's where he's at. He's there. He's at the bridge. He sees the bridge, but he won't do what he's supposed to do. It's his time to also to elevate and cross over. But you crossed over. He's watching you walk across the bridge, and she's like, "Well, gosh, what do I do? Am I supposed to follow or what?" So that's what's going on with him. He's got a lot going on, and he's got, like you might even say, man, his like not knowing what to do with his situation. I don't want that rubbing on me, as I know exactly what I'm going to do. I have to be precise. You said like I gotta get a job. I'm going to school, university. In fact, I'm doing so many things right now. Like I have to be precise, focused, and I need him focused. He's not focused. Okay, he's not focused. It's not that he doesn't want to be with you, because he and the mother's child, they're not in a situation. She's actually with somebody else completely, and she's moved on. They're just taking care of the making sure that the kids are taken care of between themselves or whatever. But like the house maybe, but that's it. That's all they are to each other. She completely has her own life. Wants to have time for her own life, and is like, oh, you're here, great. Do something with the kids. I want to go out too. I'm going out. That's what it is. And she's not like hiding it. Oh, I'm going with a friend. No, she's like, I've met someone. I'm dating again. That kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Sure. Mm. It's a lot. Right. Well, sometimes spirit, as you say, things can be true at the same time. Like he could be like, it doesn't illustrate that he doesn't want to be the it, or he doesn't want to be the one. But then it comes down to, will he suit your needs, the needs that you have right now? Can he keep up with the new pace of life? And if so, you're like, every human is going to be like, well, we're like now creatures. So we're not about patience. Oh, things take time. We're not saying that anymore. So it's like you're telling him, man, make up your mind. Or like you're about to be surrounded by all these good-looking people, good-looking men, particularly, and lovely personalities of all kinds, and be like, you know, and yeah, they're going to gravitate to you. You're like, man, he's got to make a decision. Like, was he finally you kind of like have a leverage here? But the spirit world says that he doesn't. It's not talking about him running away, or I said that earlier, deja vu. It's not talking about a breakup, or that he doesn't need or want to be. Now he may have some insecurities, you know. Who's perfect? Okay, I see in him insecurities where he feels like he may be judged, because your life seems to be, becoming what it looks like in the picture book. Who cares? Now, then he's thinking, oh gosh, hope she doesn't judge me because I haven't figured it out yet, or I'm not quite there yet, where I want to be in my on my side in life. But it doesn't never mean that he's gonna like give up. It doesn't. It's not just that's not our. At least that's not the conversation of spirit. If we were talking about breakups, I mean, you have all of the, what do you call it, the on your side, the green light on your side. If it was meant to break up or put him on ice, that would be from you. Of course, his inactivity. What's the difference? I get it. Like, but did you hear what? Like, Psyche, did you hear what I said? He's not interacting with me since he's come back from the holiday. I think it's because he's, like you said, it's chaos over there. I think that he look this. Okay, we got to look at it like from the universal perspective. The father of the child goes off on holiday. He comes back, and she's like, "Okay, my turn. You stay. I'm going out." Okay, chaos. Uh, and then he's insecure on top of that about your changes. But I know he wants to celebrate your changes, by the way, because it actually describes that he and you, on some level, are on the same path, on the same mind. You both are very down to earth people. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Hence, the only reason why I said that to support the spirit world saying he's not going anywhere. He's not leaving. It's just that he's insecurity. He's got a lot being thrown at him. He's trying to unravel that, and sometimes he gets a little bit, in his baggage, and he's trying to sort it out. Okay, right, indeed. And then of course, hence now remember to add your success is because I gave a special insight to your reading about you actually, you know, being in a position of receiving money and have a pathway, clear path to making money as well. Okay, so he once he realizes that it's time for him to cross the bridge, like you cross the bridge like quickly and a little easier than he is crossing, but he will cross the bridge and he will step into this space of money where he's making money. It will happen. His fortune to making ability to make money will happen. Time wise, we might as well go ahead and look at time. Like when will it happen for him? So some of the energy is sort of sorting out that you know like he and you may be doing this dance throughout the next couple of months. I'm seeing it's gonna be like later on in the year, more like into the fall, maybe even October. It's around October vibration when he gets the money that he's making and he feels good and confident he's where he wants to be. But that doesn't mean that he and you are not talking for months or weeks at a time in between. It doesn't mean that, okay? It just means that, in terms of like, when will he be happy? By the way, you both showed up at the same time. You both are, I want to double down, you both are in communication and well before anything talking about a fall season, and also you both will be like fully in relationship and it's just a lot of activity, hanging out together, spending time, things like that. Yeah, that's what you two are going to be doing. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, he said earlier. He said in the reading, he said he felt judged. Okay, like you're gonna judge them, meaning you would be going with your higher judgment, in your making a discerning decision about him. Like, okay, like what's going on here? But to answer that one straight question, I love it. The reason why it keeps happening is because your energy is shifting. Like when your energy shifts, as does your reality. So you're seeing parallel these realities, but just because a reality is that you could see it doesn't mean that it's happening in this reality. However, we got to always know if it is a reality, that means it can manifest into this reality, into 3D reality that we are conscious in. You don't want that to happen, heaven forbid, not this one at least. And but you're just seeing, it's because your energy is you're shifting. Excuse me, you're shifting, and you're seeing across different parallel, different events that could happen in your with him in your relationship. But again, it's of course, in this reality, which you, as you say, have to accept the 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 version of him in this one, in this 3D, which is he's not doing those kinds of things, and he's definitely not trying to get back with. There's no chance getting back with the ex. That's blown out of the waters, the smithereens. I mean, like they're completely over. Beautiful what they created together, but I mean, as two adults, the adults speaking to the adults, they're completely done. Mm, Right. Exactly. And of course, the reading today is illustrating that. Okay, so the version of himself amongst all of those parallel universes, in this universe, 3D universe, the one that he, you, it are conscious in together, this his personality is he has a lot of things orbiting around him that are unrelated to women trouble or chasing, seeking women, or having, if you want to say an evening frolic, whatever how you want to word it, floundering. This is not one of the orbiting elements around him. This is not what's orbiting him. Mm. So I would say, if you two were to end it, when I was mentioning earlier, if the decision to maybe, put him on ice or walk away, that would be because the benefit of what that you would be able to gain on your own. It wouldn't be a breakup because he slid out of the relationship one weekend and you found out about it, you caught it, and now you have the proof you needed. That it won't happen that way. It wouldn't. That's not even a reality. At least not in this 3D world. It's maybe a parallel universe reality, but it's not this one. Parallels. It does. We're not acknowledge. I mean, we're acknowledging that it exists, but that's not this one. We're not on that timeline. And so, and will we ever be? I would say, well, this is a timeline, and of course, it goes past, present, and future. So this is the way that this gentleman plays out. I mean, he would have to energetically shift, like you're shifting your own realities, and when he doesn't understand much, so like you're doing things that he like I didn't see that coming, and I can't believe it. But to be fair, it's also time for his shift to take place, which we know it will indeed. But yes, you only reason he would go away if you sent him away and said it was done, and he would, of course he would be sad because right now he believes that you are his only one, like you're the right. So yes, he would be sad and he would say, "Oh, see there." Then it would set in is because in his inadequacy, he's just not able to bring about the benefits you need in your for to stay with him as his partner and companion. So, but with that said, you're not saying that that's the case right now. You're saying if he shows effort, if he comes through and clean, as in he's not stepping out, right? He's not stepping out, being with other women. He's not trying to get back with his ex, or not, or maybe spending time with the ex when he's not with you, things like that. It's like no, or going on holidays with his ex to make an appearance, so like they're together and really, whatever they're doing. It's like no, that's not he neither he or she is doing. Right. So then this section he really is. This is the one area where I see that makes him strong. That's what makes him so, as they say, so looks up caring within the relationship. That's like the one part of him that connects him with your reading in a healthy way. He's got some things to figure out personally, but the one good side is that he's definitely you're the only. He sees you as the one in his life that he needs. That's going to change. Okay, that's going to change. In fact, by the end of this year, you two will be able to move in together, if you still desire this. Okay, and all right. So housing will change, but I think you two are going to move in together. You two are going to move in together. That's what's the major one thing that's going to change. So, well, this is okay. So, in your journey, right? I know this is moving to a positive vibration. This is your reality is changing, right? And you're elevating. You're getting ready to, as you're moving, you're tracking towards to university. Other people are gravitating to you. People you haven't met yet, but they're going to meet you. And yes, but these are also part of Soul Tribe. These are people you're naturally attracting that's going to help in the direction of like education, with work, with money, things like that. Hmm. I okay, so when they refer to they refer to the three of you, but when they describe like your like you and your mom, right? They say that yes, it's going to happen. It's like maybe the two of you are going to get something maybe first, like within the month of June. It's like the daughter is going to follow suit. I get that strong sense as well. It's like there's a lot going on in the month of June. That's where a lot of activities, such as like getting the job that that she can align with, that she feels comfortable in that role. I believe that she's also going to have assistance. Like you'll know at the same time that she knows that she's gotten the job as well in June. Hmm. A pleasure, indeed. Golly, Lord, some somebody took. Hey, somebody hurt my average again. I like the views. Somebody said, "Y'all leave my little average alone." It's still pretty. It's still a healthy average, but you took that was a pretty big chunk. Y'all are messing with my average like that. Come on, stop it. Why you guys are why are you guys doing that? Messing with my average. Okay. Whew. Oh my gosh. Hmm. Okay. Mm. Okay. How far are we going? I don't know if we can do this. Let me think. The next 2 hours and a half. Why not? Oh boy. The next 2 hours and a half. Gosh. Okay, no. Okay. Mm. Mhm. 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 Y'all, I have a question. What do y'all have against psychics? I'm just curious because I'm starting. Okay, I know I'm attracting people. I know I'm attracting curiosity. Like I know I'm a curiosity, but honestly, that's a real question. What do you all have against psychics? I just kind of want to know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just asking that because I'm a bit anxious and I'm axing out of anxiousness. You don't have to answer that. Forget I ever asked. Anyway, I'm still behaving. I'm having a really great day. I'm making up for yesterday. Well, yesterday was a great day too, but I wanted them to try something. So I was trying to get them to open. I was trying to get them to open up their mind. So they did, and it's like at the very last end. So now it's the next day. So okay, so I have clients that are like, I mean, they're like booming. So basically, I have these new clients. So I'm trying to sync. I'm trying to like. I've been like meditating. Say, okay, so which clients? Well, okay, are there any other clients that like maybe have some loose ends? So I'm working with those, and so I'm enriching and elevating them. This one is beautiful. There's a mom, another mom, and then a daughter. It's like I guess it's grandmother, mother, daughter, or you know what I mean? Daughter, the mother, the grandmother, and both of them are kind of like in a situation, and so they're gonna be like getting work. My client, who is the mother, is going to university now, taking up a new study, and so it's like they're at the turning point of their lives. This young couple, of course, they have had lives already, as any of us, right? They're human. Well, now what I want to do is even his ex, I want to bring everybody into a healthy vibration. Everybody, not just my client. But my client will, of course, these are people associated with my client's life. So my clients will then thus experience and see these changes. So we're doing the work, that metaphysical work that you all don't like to. And I go, oh no, not metaphysics. I get it, but that's why I don't mention it. I just do it. So anyway, so we got them. We got a group of people, basically. My client, of course, receiving all the is the receiver of all the information. We're gonna watch out for their updates in life. Um, I was gonna be. I know some. I know y'all are gonna like. I have a feeling you guys are supposed to come in and mess with my average, and I'm gonna be mad. You all are gonna mess with my average? Are you kidding me? You know I love my averages playing around. Oh, okay. Oh, back to my psychic business. So you all know I have 5 stars, right? I have five. So I have 5 stars, and I'm my stage name is Donald. People having readings with me. And so each time that I go live, I think it'll be healthy to include this. That my what my clients think of me. There's a feedback. Like each time or every other time that I go live, I have a feedback for every time I go live. But anyways, that way, people will. Oh yeah, I can kind of maintain the feedback. One feedback from time to time. Kind of choose a feedback I can share with you all. Let people know that you know, the, I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing what I can do to to help the clients, and what I intend to help with you all. And I do realize that other people will have the ability for what is it for kind of leaving feedbacks. You like through your engagement with me, you can always leave feedback because you can leave feedback in the chat box. You leave feedback as a comment. You can leave feedback, on my Twitter or any other social media spaces. So definitely want to make sure I do a really great job um, and strive for maintaining 5-star rating. 5-star psychic. 5 stars, as you can tell, means a lot to me. Um, as I'm learning to get to the place where it matters to me what people think. So yeah. So thank you so very much. Ooh. Ah. Ah. Hold on. Okay. Mm. Okay. So somebody was just in here. Don't think I didn't see you. I'm gonna see if you messing with my average. Okay, I hadn't flicked away. You, you all need to like not change my average. Like, yo, leave my averages alone. You know that means the world to me. You people. Let's see. I have quite a few. Quite a few. Nice. Let's see. Um, um, let me see. there's that. Okay, was they shouldn't be trying to get at me at. Mm-mm. Ooh, oh, 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 okay. Mm-mm. Okay, so there's. Let's see. Just kind of making sure. This is gonna be a 2 out. Do I want to try this? Okay, so hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay, so 2 o'clock. Hmm. Okay. Change of plan. I'm going to stay on for another 20 minutes, and then because I kind of want, I don't want anything to happen to my average. I don't know. I'm trying to get used to being in here for a while, but okay. I put in I put in 4 hours, rough. Well, almost 4 hours. Well, 4 hours technically. Well, 3 minutes shy 4 hours. So I've been here for 4 hours. Of course, in my brain, I'm like, do I need to go 2 more hours? That put me at 6 hours, which I don't mind, but I mean that's a lot. That's a long time. And this time I did interact. Like I talked. I'm almost learning. I'm almost able to say hello, like as people are entering in. So I haven't quite mastered that, but I don't think it. I don't think those comments were sitting there for too long before I said hello. And Whiny says hi hi. They say hello, then hi hi, as in I didn't see the first hello. So they're thinking hello, like hi hi. Okay, maybe I'll catch him on the next one. Maybe next time I'll catch you. Ooh, wait. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll get it on the next one. Okay, I'm absolutely gonna. I can feel some vibrations starting to happen, some changes. Yes. Mm. I haven't lost my charm. In case you wanted to know, if somebody do something wrong to you or try to punish you for who you are, resist, because universe may have given you claws and fangs so that you can better survive. You never know. You don't never know why you were given a tail until one day you have to use it. Okay? why you can see in the dark, why your eyes glow in the dark. Because there are things that help, that you need to be able to see. Okay? Just remember that. There's a reason. So, now, I'm a snake, and yes, I do like a good tune. But don't forget, but don't forget, I have my way. I'm a charm too. I have a charm. I have charms, and I'm aware of them. I'm aware of my charms. My charms come by if I can speak my case. If they say if they give no room or say there's no speak, oh yeah, I know they've already they're going on script. There's a script. Because if it's just a if it's me winning you over, persuading you over, I'm gonna be rolling like like maybe like a 1d10 and a 1d4. So everybody knows I like to say 1d20, you know, with a +3 modifier. So, and I'm so good at it. I'm like, ooh, I like, ooh, well, like, how are you? Well, I've taken no damages. So I like, oh, but even like in the process that get damages, like I consider like if you have to use your shield, that's it's kind of like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. You may use your shield, you may block, but that's still a damage. So in other words, it's like uh, the people who are throwing their boomerangs and and they use that as a block. It's an attack force, but it's a block. Yeah, I have to do that. So I do that. So not necessarily that I take advantage, but it's like the fact that you have to do it, like so you have to like one up it all the time so that you can get a perfect. Gosh, but no one said that life is easy. No one said that. That's why you needed the claws. That's why you needed. That's why you needed the claws, the fangs. That's why you needed to be able to see in the dark. That's why. That's why universe gave that to you because life is not easy. That was an interesting conversation that we were talking about the different parallel universes. So my clients like recognizing like why am I pulling in this energy and it's flipping and yeah, you're looking at parallel experiences and she of course she's finding out that she's inaccurate, that she's wrong, but she's like looking and checking. And I had already made the predictions is that she's shifting and she's saying like what's going on with these shifts, and it's allowing her to see potentials and possibilities, but she didn't know what she was looking at, so I was explaining to her what she was looking at. I'm at the place where you can see parallel universes. People will sometimes, people who, especially if they're in a relationship with you in some way, it doesn't be necessarily intimate, but they try to make those parallels reality. It's interesting when you both are looking at the same parallel and you just know. It can happen in many ways. Like you can know, like it can be positive. You can be somebody that you want to have that shared parallel experience with, and they see it too. That's beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Kind of like if you both were to see something that cannot be seen with the naked eye, but you both can see it to the detail. You both can even describe it to the other, and it makes you like makes a perfect sense without people, scientists, writing down, your accuracy. But then you have some people that you see in these spaces, and you both know exactly what you're looking at, and but you both are against each other. Like, I don't want that to manifest. I want it to manifest. This happens a lot, and I can imagine it happens a lot in relationships, and that would be very destructive. But I mean, this happens a lot in like job settings. I imagine, yeah, and a lot of times in job settings where there's, especially where there's power dynamic, and you engage somebody. I'm telling you, these situations when one will say, "I normally would get cave in, but on this one I can't," because you know it's something spiritual going on. It's like, they know it's something spiritual going on. It's like a metaphysical warfare. You're like, I'm not giving up my side of the formula. Well, you're gonna have to, because you're like, I won't sign on dotted line. It's like, you can push for it, but I'm gonna keep saying saying my I'm gonna still affirm my metaphysical direction. I'm like, why it gotta be this one? Yeah, that's because you're in a metaphysical tug of war. You better realize some people, like you're, especially when you're around a lot of people, and then you start having rivalry, like it become like sibling rivalry, right? Mm, yeah, it doesn't just happen with siblings. Not everyone has siblings, and and they're fighting for. Okay, I can see making concessions for like an office space, um, my desk for a smaller one or an older one, computers, all that. But don't don't negotiate your metaphysical affirmations in the form of a power tug and war. Even if you have to use naivety and be, I don't know if you want to say passive, but if you need to be, what they call it, passive but assertive, like decline it. Make it not work out. Mm-mm. Otherwise, you're going without your permission and without your consent, you're going to confirm another's affirmation. So yeah, I don't allow anyone, not even an employer, to affect. And of course, I know these things, so I know how to maneuver maybe better than others. Um, your metaphysical path, because if they're coming at you as a, but I'm your boss from a dream world, like you're having dreams of them at night, or they are wanting to take occupancy. But I would say it like this: the way I correlate that. How do you make that make sense in your head? Because they are your boss in the 3D world. Yes, but they're going to occupy space they didn't. They're not renting. Did you rent that space out to them? No, you didn't. Then why are you allowing them to take up that space for free? Do they give things to you for free? So, in some jobs, don't they practice proprietary, where it's called, what's it called? Usury. Don't they practice some form of usury? Like, okay, to work with us, but you have to pay into us, and then we let you have all the tools you need. Don't they do that? Right? So, which is that's a religious law that one is not to break, but also energetically, sense, spiritually, metaphysically, it's not practical. It's counterintuitive. It's counter psychic, and also counter spiritual. It's not even spiritual. So I said, well, look, just speak to job, what's written. Can you print that out? Can you write it out? Okay, then no. ask me anything like of that nature again. You know, that's when you get into. That's when you've gotten and you've come like you've worked with your, I guess, boss for a while. You can say it like that. Eventually, but yeah, you do have to watch out for that because that it's like people will come in as your employer, somebody who's in, and they will psychically open up the door that you sometimes you close because you learn that even though your granddad or like they don't belong in your psychic space, so you finally get them out, you close the door, and also that's found when people who work through traumas. Then you have a boss that goes in there and unlock. The psychology says that the authorities. Okay, so you have your parents or guardians, and then those get interchanged out for law enforcement, your boss, people like that in dynamics. Authoritative roles switch over. So, and the way that the world thinks it should work in the book is so you learn how to respect your parents, therefore you learn how to respect authority so that when you go into the world, you respect authority as in law enforcement, you respect authority as your boss. Okay, so they already, it's like, in the psychological elements, symbols, they're able to, they try to move into icon, but then you realize this world isn't sweet enough. This world is not sweet. And you're like, no, this world does not deserve to be a universal icon. So you learn very early, like my parents maybe barely made icon. You know, they're not the Pope. They're my parents. I know them. I spend time with them, knowing, not learning. I know all of their tricks. So then you have I guess, an authoritative figure that walks in, can then open up that door that you had closed, and then they kind of just put their feet there and it's just gaping open. It's like, so now you go live your life throughout and you're going through the work. Guess what? Your aura looks like this. Light from your chakras going that direction, that direction, that direction, that direction. So what we're going to do is, first of all, excuse me, your feet, thank you. Close that door and leave it closed. Then, because that protects, that keeps everything. They say, what the churches say, don't open portals because you don't know what's on the other side or who. And then we get your chakras your lights to become centered and aligned again. It's like you can give me instruction as you know like as our partnership. Yeah, well, I'm your boss. Yes, I don't work for free. What you okay? It's like express what you need done. You need to write it out. You need to grab your pens and paper. Oh, that's what it is. Keep it like that. That like, oh, I get it. And then you say, yes, it's called boundaries. Healthy boundaries, but you can do it respectfully. You can respectfully set healthy boundaries with employers, and then thus with anybody, parents, siblings, partners, friends, strangers, law enforcement, teachers, professors, any kind, any kind, any kind. Yeah, bound. Yeah, you have to kind of you have to set those there. Um, that a way that you won't be crushed when you find out that they're human. So you don't be like let down because unlike your parents will say, "Sweetheart, I know you think so high of me. You know I'm only human, right?" And like you're perfect. You're my hero, but you're my hero. And then like your dad got like muscles, and your mom is like like a goddess, right? It's like the image of the goddess rather. And like, oh, you're my hero, you're my first love. But then you're like, but sweetheart, you don't know I'm human, right? So it's like then, but yeah, other people are not gonna tell you. They're like, oh, you see me as, an icon. They're trying to be, be deified. So yeah. So sometimes you have to kind of like, even when people, yeah, it's funny. It's easy to say this with a stranger or maybe with a friend or somebody you just met, but how do you say that to a power structure? Somebody who's there for you, who's there to help you,
to help empower you, enrich you, and support you, to make the right decisions. Yes, exactly. Just speak to them like a human being. Then you have to, of course, now without this is supposed to be a broad conversation where naturally that people understand the interworkings of self-respect and the respect for others around them and respect for people who are in an authoritative role. So I'm speaking in that tone, so I'm not going into, ooh, what is morality? you know when to say yes and when to say no. We're just strictly speaking broadly. you know like you can have a conversation and not take your conversations into into down paths that don't even serve you later. And it's like, as they say, why would one burn down their own structures? That doesn't make any sense. Why do you burn down your own camp? Or why do you self sabotage? Or why allow anyone to push you into a position where you self sabotage? That doesn't make any sense. No. Get the instructions and follow them. Then you can, whatever you need to sort out, talk, be disgruntled about. You can do it with the right people, because some people are not meant to make decisions. That is meant to follow through with orders. Take the, okay, what is it? Take the order, and then go round and round and round with actual person who makes decision. So I think people forget about that. Like, I had a client, wanting to fight with the receptionist. Like, why are you fighting with someone who takes the order? Like, okay, so what do you want? What do you want to do? Well, I would like to do this, this. Well, okay, what's on the menu? What is on the list? Okay, that's what I want to do. Okay, and then you be on your way. And then if there's an issue later, you know, then you actually going to go to someone who is a decision maker. And in that decision maker, that's when you say, and then you're like, look, okay, I need somebody to articulate for me the best way to articulate to this decision maker, not the receptionist. Like, you don't say when they ask for someone, you don't, and you have an issue. You don't say, I would like to speak to your receptionist. A receptionist, why? So they can take down your name and number and whatever private information, and then tell you to go sit. Go sit down. It doesn't make any sense, does it? So anyway, we'll have more. Oh, we'll have more of these conversations. Okay, so it's 2:03. Okay, I'm gonna cut this one short. So because I don't want to see my average go down. My average was way up there, and then people kept coming in. Okay, I'll be back on the next one, and I'll definitely will have more share more of my feedbacks, 5 stars, and everybody else as well. Who came in and said thank you, thank you, thank you